Hello. This is quite exciting. Hi guys. Let me know that you're here. Hey, from Finland.
Hi Paz, the light's perfect, the sound's perfect, so you're good.
Ah, thank you.
Just give it a few minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey Carrie. Hey Nathan. Hey Eva. Hi. So, hi guys, we're just going to wait a little bit. Thank you so much for joining me today. So today I've just gone a bit girly with the people that know me. You know, I've even put a little accessory in my hair. Dressed a bit girly anyway, so hey Yuha. Hey Jordana. Hey Caroline. Hey Kia. Hello. Well, thanks Nathan. Hey. Hope it's nice and sunny where you guys are too and you're making the most of it. But thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you, Caroline. I actually did my hair today. Hey, Heather. We'll just wait a little bit longer. Hey, Laura. What's the toner on my hair? Well, it was one that Iggy Pop sort of recommended. I was liking one of the Kardashians toners, so it's 11-2 with 84866. But yeah, I think it's one of my fave. It's faded out a little bit, but hey. But thank you. You are. Hey Pascal. Hope you're ready to go, bruh. Hey Krista.
Okay, Paz, we're all good. We're ready to start.
Okay, great. Hi guys. Thank you so much for joining me today, the art of braiding. So today I'm going to take the art of braiding to help not just you guys out there, but also to help our wonderful clients that are at home as well. How you can take the art of braiding to maintain our texture, but also how to be able to do pretty kind of cute looks at home as well. I'm going to be working on 3 different textures today. So I'm going to work on hair that is super curly and super thick, and how the art of braiding can help you maintain the volume, but also help with the frizz control as well. So it's all about you being in control of your hair, not your hair being in control of you. Also, I'm going to be working on long hair lengths when we have a lot of movement going on from mid-length to ends, how we can create the volume and movement at the root area like how hairdressers would, you know, create, but you can create that at home. Also, this will help with our new regrowth that we may have right now, to take that, you know, the look away, the attention away from the regrowth. I'm going to show you little tips and tricks to be able to do that as well. And then also one of the third looks I was going to do today is how to create thick, beautiful fishtail braids, but without losing the length. A lot of the times when we have long lengths, I'm sure you clients have said, can you create something but not lose the length at all? So for you clients out there, you'll be able to create that yourself as well. But also, as stylists, we can teach our clients at home as well. So it's all about embracing our textures right now and making the most of it. And while we've got time, let's have fun with our texture and see what we can create. And also, with guys that have got short hair, how the art of braid can still make your short hair look cute. If you've got your fringe or your bangs growing out, how you can create that cute little look at the front. So I'm going to start with my first model right here. So when we have long hair, we tend to sort of either tie it back, put it in a bun, or even put it behind our ears, which creates that natural kind of movement into the hair. And the bun, I tend to find that our root area or the top of a hair tends to stay quite flat. So how do we create the volume to blend in with the movement at the sides? So I'm going to keep it super simple today with the tips and tricks. So we all seen our curl clips. So basically, if I just turn the mannequin head round here, you'll see how flat it is on the top, and there's some kind of movements going on here. So all you can do at home, if you were doing it, and I tend to do this with my hair as well by putting the clip in, is lift the hair up and just place that curl clip. So what it's going to do is just give you that kind of a lift, a movement. And the good thing is you don't have to be so uniform or structured. Just put them in randomly. You can either use a comb and even take it a little bit further down. So it sort of blends in here. And then what you could do, you can see the movement. I haven't disturbed the movement you've got already. I'm going to use session spray. By spraying session spray on and leave it in. So in the mornings, guys, if you just want to create that extra volume on the top, what you can do is place the curl clips on there, and by either putting some products in before, you can use Killer Waves, you can use anti-gravity, you can use any of your favorite products first. But you can even work this in on dry hair. So you could even just put session spray in afterwards. You can go and put your makeup on, you can put your lip gloss on, you can do whatever you need to do, and just while allowing it to dry off. Or you can just use the hairdryer and dry it off. Just quickly, softly blast it, which actually, I'm just going to spray a little bit more on. And then just if you're going to dry in the product in, I recommend that you let it cool down a little bit. So you literally are lifting it up, placing the clips in where you want the volume, let it cool down. And then just after you've cooled it down, on an ideal world, I would let that cool down a bit more or dry it in a bit more. You can see it's given that little bit of a movement and lift on the top. So if you were to do this yourself at home, you can see how that movement blends in with the rest of the hair as well. Now, I probably are getting a few new regrowths here as well. What you could do is you can get a tail comb, or even you can use anything with a point on, and then just create a zigzag parting. By creating that...
We have a question.
Yeah.
What if you have fine hair and have a hard time holding a curl or any type of wave? What do you suggest?
Okay, so that's a great question. If you have fine hair, which I have fine hair actually, but it always looks like I've got thicker hair, the two products I'm really going to concentrate on is powder puff and session spray. Now powder puff, the reason why that is because powder puff is part of the volume regimen, and by using it on dry hair it really gives you that volume and expansion of the hair, and it gives you that grip where you'll be able to control the hair and movement. So when you just lift it up, it'll be able to hold it. So, and also you can prep the hair with anti-gravity. And with our volume measurement with Angel Wash or Angel Rinse will help to create that kind of volume and help with if you've got finer hair too. So by me just applying that powder puff on that side, you can actually see by me lifting it up how much volume you've got there. By creating that volume on the top, it takes away the eye of that kind of a line you may have with your new regrowth. So I'm just going to put and really work that powder puff in. Now what I love about powder puff as well, because powder puff was one of my first products I fell in love with because it just gave me big hair and it made my hair feel a lot more thicker. And with our wonderful new additions, powder puff I find it's not, shine so much, so I just wanted to use powder puff as being my fave, but also to help you create that volume. So once you've created that volume and that movement, you can then create by just able to put that powder puff on the ends as well. What I'm going to show you how you can just simply braid your hair. And there's one thing I was trying last night. So if I had long hair, even if I wanted to braid my hair, would I go Dutch braid, which is where you take the hair from underneath, or would you go French braiding, which is you take the hair from the above? So for me, I was like pretending to see if I had like long hair. On my right hand side, I'd probably go Dutch, and on my left side, I'd probably go French. So that explains a lot about me, really. I'm neither here or there. So by creating some texture and movement, you can still little cute braids either side. And also if you have that kind of new regrowth going on, I would recommend that you leave the movement on the top area and maybe just braid from the mid-length to the ends. Now, I mean, personally for me, the more inconsistent it is, the more cuter it looks. So try not to overthink it too much. So when you are doing a 3-strand braid at home by yourself, just go with what feels comfortable with you. So I'm going to do a French braid here. So you take in each strand from the outer to in, and then when you get to the other side, you're doing the same. Once you get into that momentum, you work down. Now the reason why I use powder puff onto the ends as well, not just on the root area, was because the powder puff will allow it to grip your braid for you. And also powder puff is a bit like adding that extra texture that you may not be able to do at home yourself with like tools you may have. So it's giving you support, holding your braid in. And then keeping it quite loose, so when you just pull those braids out. So I've kept it nice and soft. You can see I could even leave that there because of the powder puff, it's holding it in together. And then you just secure it off with a little elastic. You can braid this all the way down to the end, or you can leave the ends out. which looks quite cute, which then complements the movement on the root area. Now, if you feel at home you've got a lot of regrowth going on, add some accessories to this as well because it looks super cute. So this is all to help us to maintain our texture at home and in between the times until we see our hairdressers. So I would take this time to really play with your own natural texture, and you never know, you know, you may get quite creative and you'll probably realize you actually love your own natural texture instead of fighting against it. So here I'm doing the same thing. I'm just going to apply a little bit of powder puff, just a dust of it. Now with the powder puff bottle, I don't know if you guys, I'm just going to recap the powder puff bottle. So when you open up a powder puff bottle, it's got a cute little smiley face going on. And this is actually for either how much you want to apply onto the hair, so you can control that. So with the smiley face, I don't know if you can see that. If you just want a little bit on, you can just cover up the smile. Or if you want a little bit more, you can cover up the eyes. But if you want to just go for it, you can just go for it and just apply it on. So here you can either go with, and I've kept it soft around the hairline, so you can go with the softness of the look. Now the reason why I've kept it softer here, because it also hides the new growth from our hairline here. So by keeping it soft and keeping it kind of textured and kind of softer, it will help with that. Now, it's great to create braids like this at home. And once you've done that, if you want to go for a run or if you just want to just take the look to another level, I'm just going to show you how you can create a little cute updo by taking your braid together, and you can weave. I'm going to get this right because I'm right-handed. How you can weave one braid, take it through, so you tighten it already, and then you can weave it through. And you may need some bobby pins here, or you can, you know, whatever you feel comfortable with. So I'm just going to weave one braid in, take it to the other one, and then I'm just going to do the same. I was actually going to tell you, can you put your head down? See how much I move. I spent so much time with my mannequins. So by just weaving it through one another and creating still, I'm just going to use some bobby pins and leave some of this end. So some softness going on in the nape area. You just tuck it in. And you can see I'm not actually being so structured, so it's easier to do by yourself. And then if you wanted to, you can sort of put a hairband on, make it look super cute by yourself, but also, oh, pop that off, put it back on. So you can put some like kind of hair accessories on there. And then by turning it around, you can just secure it as tight as you want. So you've created two looks out of one. It's out of your way if you want to go running and you look super cute while you're running. Or you've got another look on day two. So hope you like that. And you can see I've not disturbed any of the movements going on there. And it still looks super cute. Hope you agree.
Hey Paz, we have a question from Caroline.
Uh-huh.
What are some of your favorite Kevin Murphy signature looks from over the years that you still love?
Oh, wow. Gosh, there's so many. Signature looks. It's a good question, Caroline. Well, one of them is this one here that I'm going to create. Oh gosh, there was Angel that I loved, which was similar to what Caroline created yesterday. There's, oh my goodness, Resort, where you take long hair quite short. Yeah, let me think about that one because there's so many. The Nymph, gosh, I can't think right now, but thanks, Caroline. I will get back to you on that one. So now, when we want to create kind of texture at home by ourselves, just exactly how our hairdressers might be doing. So what we could do is, here I've actually and blow dried the hair. So if you wanted just to smooth your hair out a little bit, you could blow dry the hair upside down and facing so that you get a bit of like volume at the root area. But also you can even create some curls. Now I've put Nadine into two because again, it's about being in control of your hair and not letting your hair take control over you. And you can, if you have like a curling iron or some kind of wand, by putting it into bunches, you can just take some random sections and curl those ends. Find that by sectioning it off, you've actually not going to burn yourself, but you're in more control of it all. Yeah. And then what you can do is just literally take out those hairbands and use your texture comb to comb it through. So I blow dried the mannequin's hair here, but I also use the curling iron just to give you that kind of extra movement. Now this will help to even at home, if you just want to feel like, you know what, I'm tired of just putting my hair up and I just want to make it feel like a bit glamorous again, you could just add those extra little curls. By putting it in bunches, you're going to be more in control of doing that. Even if you wanted to leave this down and take the fringe area down, you can see it just gives you that kind of a nice blow-dried effect that you've just walked out of a salon. So, there we go. So with this look, how many of you out there remember Ginger? Do anybody remember Ginger? Well, Ginger is one of my favorites. So Caroline Ginger is one of my favorites. The reason why I really like this is that I used to get asked when I used to do clients, how can I create my daughter's hair, you know, give it that kind of a fishtail feel to it, but also easy for me to do. How can I create the fishtail braiding by myself? So this is a really good one. Now with Ginger, you can add texture like I have today. You can go with your natural texture, if it's straighter or smoother, but you can also just use the products with this, where you can again add a powder puff to it, which I'm going to here. Either on each section. Now the reason why I've chose Ginger as well, because here it's a good way of being able to create a glamorous feel, but also keeping it super cute and a bit of a movement to help maintain the length that we may have. If it's getting too long, you know, how can I just embrace the length, but just create something myself at home So art of braiding doesn't actually mean that you have to always do those intricate, how to do your scalp braiding from the roots to the ends. It can also mean that you can use the art of braiding to maintain and also help to maintain your natural texture, but also how to help to control your natural texture as well. So with this look, all I've done here is, by adding powder puff to this as well, you know, at home you may not be confident in being able to back brush your hair or back comb your hair, so the powder puff is doing that for you. You can see the expansion and volume powder puff can give you just by applying it on. And now, what I love about ginger as well, there's no kind of structure, so you don't have to have clean lines. You don't have to, you know, make sure that the parting is so super clean. So this is the reason why I used ginger and chose ginger, sorry, was that even if you've got a natural regrowth going on here, you can still hide it by creating that volume, but you haven't got a definite parting going on. You can just casually just part it either side. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to place a few bands here. So what you can do, again, leave the softness around the face, but I don't want to reduce any length. So I'm going to take a little section. Again, if your hair is super fine, you know, you can actually blow dry this upside down just to create that kind of volume. And then you can use the powder puff to help you give you that extra volume.
Hey Paz, we have a question. What about using do-over and or powder puff?
Yeah, do-over and powder. I mean, do-over is one of my favorites as well. But because we've all fallen in love with do-over so much that, you know, powder puff doesn't get a call out. So I just wanted to give a big up to powder puff today. But do-over, bedroom hair, you know, session spray I'm using anyway, but even like touchable, any of those products are awesome and great to use. But for me today, I just wanted to big up powder puff because it's just to remind us, we always like, when the new addition comes to our Kevin Murphy family products, we always tend to go, oh my God, you know, powder puff is great, and always love powder puff, do-over. But for me, I thought I wanted just to, you know, remind us all how awesome powder puff is as well for skinny hair, if we want to create volume, but also for our clients at home that can't create that, you know, back combing feeling without looking like maybe, you know, messy or bird nesty. We want to give that expansion. So I feel for a client at home, by adding that extra powder puff onto the hair from roots to the ends, it will just help the client to create the volume that we can for our clients in the salon. So I hope that answers that question. So what I'm going to do here is just take a section from the back. Now it's up to you on how thick you want to keep this, but what you're going to do is get two sections, one from the front, one from the back.
Paz, we have another question. If you wanted to create a sleeker looking braid, which products would you recommend?
Sleek looking braids, I tend to like using Session Spray, Staying Alive, even Session Spray Flex, even Hair Resort sometimes, just a spritz of that. It gives you that sleeker but gives you that hold as well. If the hair is quite soft, it doesn't sort of like slip out. But Staying Alive, and that also helps to, you know, help with any staticness in the hair as well. But for for when you're doing it yourself and you're not, you know, a hairdresser, but you want to create a look like a hairdresser would, by you keeping some kind of texture into the hair, it's a lot more easier to do by yourself than trying to do a sleeker one. If you want to do a sleeker look at home, I would then suggest definitely like session spray or Staying Alive or even hair resort spray. So does that answer the question? Is that okay, Tim?
That's great, Paz.
Yeah. So going back to this look, so all I've done now is put the two sections together, put them together, and I'm just gonna fold it back onto itself, as you can see there, and then pull that up. Okay, so that's given me my first, I feel like I'm cheating, doing little fishtail. But for a client at home, this is so much more simpler way of creating that fishtail look, and also then just without losing the length as well. Now, you can actually do this technique all the way down, or what you could do, for me, I only go halfway because I like to keep the movement on the ends. So you can see by just pulling it out, it just gives you that kind of a quick.
Hey Paz, for this technique, is it possible to move your model closer so they can actually see what
Sure.
you're doing?
Is that better? Is that better, Tim?
Yes, that's great.
Okay, so all I've done here is I'm just going to show you from the front. So from the front, I've kept some of the hair out. And then, again, the reason why I've done this, if you've got natural regrowth going on, you know, you can just hide it by leaving some more hair out around the front area, so it hides the hairline. And then you literally are taking, without any structure, some hair from around the front and then hair from the back. So if I was to do it myself, I would have that here, so it's easy for me to control. And then you just wrap it back onto itself and then pull that hair bubble there. And if you wanted to hide that hair bubble, you can just literally take a strand of hair back onto itself, use a little bobby pin and hide that. So then for your client, they can feel like it's a little bit secure, but it's not going to go anywhere. So by doing that, I've just, can you see that? So it's created a really nice fishtail casual braid, but you've not lost any length. And at the back, I've left it quite soft, so you don't have to worry about any of your regrowth or anything showing at the back either, because although it's been taken through the parting. So this side, I'm just going to leave a little bit more hair out, so you can just see how casual you can keep that. So this is to help a lot of our clients as well to maintain their natural texture at home. So some of you may be lucky at home that you have that kind of movement, but if you don't, you can just create that and get creative at home. And then I would also recommend using like hair accessories, things like that. How many of you like using hair accessories? I mean, I've got one in right now today, just one, to help with my hair growing. So just do another one. So like I said before, you can take this down all the way down if you wanted to. And just wrap it back onto itself. So then you can hide the hairband on the top there. So you're not losing any volume, it's not too flat. And again, it's easy to control and do it yourself at home. Now the little tip and tricks here. So if you feel you put too much powder puff on the hair and you feel like, oh, it's just too much, it's feeling a little bit too kind of, I can't control it or I can't get my brush through it. Sometimes just spritzing a little bit of shimmer shine on here, it can take away the moisture from here, can help for you to get back in control of the hair. And it just takes away that kind of background feeling. So what we're going to do with the fringe here is, the reason why I've left it coming forward is that it gives you kind of a choice whether you want to go to the left or you want to go to the right. And a lot of the times when our fringes start growing out, we want to just automatically twist it going back. So I've sort of prepped the hair coming forward.
So Paz, when you are looking for inspiration, where do you typically go to find it?
I tend to go on Instagram. I look at a lot of my colleagues. A lot of my colleagues really inspire me as well. So I maybe look at Pinterest or Instagram. You know, a lot of our Kevin Murphy family, or, you know, the masters, even the keys, I tend to just like, you know, go and check everybody else's out as well, because I think every day somebody like inspires you somewhere. So it's maybe social media as well. I hope that's answered that question. So here you can see there's a bit of movement going on. So what I've done here is it's been curled, but it's been blow dried as well. So this gives me the choice going forward. I could either go to the left or I can go to the right, you know, so whichever you yourself feels comfortable with, but also at the same time is taking away the eye away from any regrowth or any movement or any flatness that you may feel that you can't control yourself. And by just curling it or blow drying it and clipping it out the way, it's allowing the hair to cool down while you create the look, but it's also giving you that nice movement. So it looks like you've gone to the salon and had done it yourself. If your hair is too soft, or if you feel like it's just too flyaway, you can spray a bit of session spray on it and just comb it through. But if you feel that the hair is too soft and it's not doing anything, this is where the powder comb really helps to give you that grip. And volume. So now I feel, giving me that movement. And you can see it's hiding any root regrowth as well. And then what you can do, instead of twisting it going over, I'm just going to do it under. And allowing it just the hair to do what it wants to do. And that gripping that in with a bobby pin. You could even weave this into the hair. So what I mean by that is, I'm just going to do that again. Is that you can just grip it in there, or you can just let it flow and weave it in and blend it in with your braids. Just by adding a little bobby pin in there, but letting that cuteness go on. So you can see at home, you can see how a client can do this themselves, but can you see you're not losing any kind of length? And then if you had shoulders, do we like this one? So that was my model number 2.
Hey, Pat.
Yeah.
Hey, Paz, how long did it take you to really understand not to fight against the hair too much? And are there any other tips you can share on kind of breaking through that habit?
Yeah, a lot of the times it was when I used to be in the salon constantly, I used to find that my clients used to really struggle because they used to fight against what they've got and embrace their natural texture. And even for myself, when my hair gets any longer and it's getting longer than what it is, I tend to just get like a bit of wave in that. So I used to really struggle with doing my hair when it gets a bit longer. And then I just thought, do you know what? If I go with it, I can actually create something else with, create something beautiful with this. And working with my clients and teaching my clients to embrace their own natural texture, it gave them a choice on what they can have different, on different days. So they can have a straight look one day, or they can actually embrace their own natural texture and be more kind of content with it and feel confident on when you sort of embrace what you've got, But it was, for me, it was like, when I started showing and teaching my clients how to embrace their natural texture and seeing the confidence in their faces when they used to come back, that's when I thought, you know what, it's good to teach our clients to embrace their natural texture, not just times like this, but even generally when they're on holiday or when they go away and they may not have the tools. That's when I started to realize it's so important that we work with what we've got instead of working against what we've got, because that's what makes us feel more confident instead of fighting against it. Does that?
Yes, some are wondering what products you have used in your own hair today, Paz, because they're loving the texture and the style.
Oh, thank you. Well, I thought today, as I'm going to be talking about powder puff, I haven't used powder puff on my hair for a very long time, and I just thought, why not use powder puff? Practice what you preach. And naturally, I am very, very grey on the top now, and my beautiful haircut that Caroline gave me is sort of growing out. So I've used, literally blow dried it with Young Again oil, and then use powder puff on it. When you can see by putting powder puff on it, it's actually give me the movement as well. So yeah, so it's powder puff for me today. But thank you guys. Now, this is where the art of braid can really help maintain your texture. So I wanted just to discuss the clients that we've, you know, people that are out there, our clients that are out there have got naturally curly, thick hair where, you know, they may not know what to do with it, or they're probably just like going, okay, I'm just going to tie it back. I know for me, my friend, my dear friend, all she does is tie her hair back, and I constantly tell her, stop doing that, because you're putting a lot of tension onto your hair, and you know, you can really around the hair, you can really pull it out, you know, really can get breakage from it if you pull your hair back too much. So I then talked her into just, hey, you know, tell me your struggles, tell me your hair concerns. So by the art of braid can really help with your hair concerns and solve a lot of problems. So with my mannequin hair, yes, I created the curly look here, but if I was to advise anyone with really naturally curly hair out there, is do your hair before you go to bed. So you can wash your hair, you know, like wash, rinse, and apply product on. And a lot of the curl products I would definitely recommend is our curl regimen. So it could be Killer Curls, it could be Motion Lotion, it could be Killer Waves, and also Easy Rider as well. But when you're using a lotion, and Caroline mentioned this yesterday, a lot of the times when we're using a lotion at home on our own hair, you probably put it in your hands, and we just tend to put a lot on the mid-lengths and ends and forget to put the actual product on the root area. So something Wade mentioned when he did, when he was on KMTV, which I really loved, and I actually shared that with one of my friends who really struggles to battle with her natural frizzy hair, because she's got naturally curly hair, but she always feels that she can't maintain her curls frizz, so she's always battling with it. So if you're using a lotion, after you've towel dried your hair, you can see the little nozzle there, apply the product on the root area, really massage it through, and then wipe it from the roots to the ends, and then you can use the eye of braiding and braid your hair and put a net on it before you go to bed. So what I did last night with Nadine, she had her hair washed in that, and I literally just took sections, did thicker kind of braids, but I didn't pull anything out. I actually pushed towards it, so you're not losing the volume, you know, you're not disturbing the curl. All you're actually doing is helping it to not go so frizzy and crazy. So I'm just going to undo braid here, and then just gently. And the reason why I didn't do that side, because you can see when you try and battling naturally curly hair here on dry and you try and pull it out, it just gets frizzier and frizzier, and then you just lose that will to live. And also you just think, oh my God, what am I going to do now? So you just end up giving up. So I personally love curly hair. So then I thought by just using the art of braid could help you guys there with naturally curly hair, and just by taking thicker sections and just by braiding it in, but push it up as you go braiding it in, it can help you maintain the frizz. And then the next morning you can either use Killer Waves and spray that on and scrunch it in, or you could even use Motion Lotion back on dry hair. The key thing here as well, I would definitely advise I recommend is use enough products. You can't ever use a lot of products, because being weightless technology as well, when we come to use products on our own hair at home, we always feel we're using too much, but you can never use too much. So here...
Guys, I have a question. This is from Alexander in Norway.
Hi, Alex.
If he has brittle curls, which rinse is better for soft, touchable definition, but still maintaining it to be very curly? Is it smooth again rinse, hydrate me rinse, or young again rinse?
So he's got what? So brittle curls, did you say?
Fine, brittle curls, yes.
I would say either smooth again. Smooth again is still just as good to help with brittle curls because of the moisture, and you know, smooth again is just not just great for thick, coarse kind of hair, it's great for fine, curly, brittle curls too. By adding the moisture in, the moisture is the one that really, when the hair is naturally curly, tends to be dehydrated. So then the hair, once it gets a bit of moisture back into it, it sort of nourishes that hair and really not just smooths the hair, but it's also targets the frizzy areas, but also helps with that brittleness as well. So it will sort of strengthen it at the same time. So I hope that helps with you, Alex. I'd love to see you with curly, brittle hair. Or curly hair generally. So you can see by sleeping on your hair with using like a braid just to maintain it, you can see the difference on the length here by battling curly hair on dry hair, but by leaving it damp and braiding it in and putting a hairnet on overnight can actually help for you to take control of your own hair again, and also embrace that beautiful curly look, you know, that you would have. So here you can see the difference where, and if I try and combat this now, I'm not gonna win here. So it's always good if you have got naturally thick curly hair. I would highly recommend that you do it overnight and sleep on it. If you don't have a net, use a beautiful scarf. You know, you can just put a scarf over your hair. The reason why I say this is that because this will help. You know, when we sleep on your hair, it will help not disturb the root area, so it will stop it from going frizzy as well. Okay. Tim, did that help Alex's question?
Yes, it did. Thank you, Paz. The texture is beautiful.
Do you like it? Thank you. So, that was my third model. Now I'm going to bring on a live model here. For this is for us guys out there with short hair and we've got our fringes growing out. Let's not try and cut our own fringes. But I'm just going to bring on my lovely daughter, Karina. Thank you, Karina. So here with Karina's hair, she's had her fringe quite short, and I know she's lucky to have her mum as a hairdresser, but I've just not had time to cut her own, to cut her fringe for her. But also I just wanted to share with you guys at home, if you've got your fringe growing out and you have no clarity on when your hairdresser is going to be back at work, or like, you know, when you're going to next see your stylist, I'm just going to show you how you can still make, using the art of braid, your short haircut still look cute, but also work with your fringe growing out too. So with Karina's hair here, and I don't know if you've noticed, guys, I've not picked up a lot of combs and tools, because this was really to inspire our clients out there, because not everyone can work with combs and tools at home. So I've used a lot of my fingers to be able to do that. So with Karina's hair being, she does have a lot of hair, by the way, to help me braid and still keep this cute short bob looking even cuter, I'm going to comb all that hair and use the length of the hair at the back, bring it all coming forward, so creating a real low side part. Maybe tuck it behind. And then I'm just going to grab this. Give you this. Let's see. So what I'm going to do here is, by using the length of the hair to comb on top of her fringe area, use a bit of session spray. hair length like mine, I would do exactly the same with it. I would do a little braid in the fringe area, but by taking the shorter part of the fringe, the length here, because although it's still long, take that underneath and just integrate that back part of the length onto the fringe, and then just use a simple braid to keep that fringe out of the way until we see our hairdresser again, but also to keep your short haircut looking cute. Do we like this? I hope so.
It's super, Paz.
And then here you can either use powder puff again if your hair is quite soft, and all I'm doing here is just pulling the braids out. And if you wanted to pull the braids out yourself, you know, to give it that kind of a fuller effect, do it always from the outside, because when you start doing it from the inside, you may disturb your braid. And then I'm just gonna put a hair grip in. So you can still rock your short haircuts and really work with those fringes that are growing out and just create the art of braid and still keep it looking cute. So, how's that look? Good, I hope.
That's really cute, Paz.
Yeah. Does anyone have any questions, or hope it's been really useful today, you know, for you guys out there that are, you know, really combating against your natural texture. But I hope today was all about embracing your natural texture and using the art of braiding to be able to, you know, really work with what we've got instead of working against it, but also to be more in control of your hair instead of letting the hair be in control over you. So braiding is, you know, there's all, you know, we've got our amazing Marion Jensen who does little intricate kind of braids, but when it comes to us and our clients at home, being able to do their own hair at home, it's just simple, easy little techniques that I wanted to share with you today, that you guys can either braid your hair at in the evening and sleep on it to maintain your curly, naturally curly hair, or even just so that you just feel like you just want to just take your hair and be creative with it. But how simplify you can do things just by using simple braids and that. So, and then there you go. So let's bring all our models back on. Just to remind you, so Karen is going to help me. Here's our ginger. Here's a little cute updo that you could do yourself. And here, how you can use the art of braiding to maintain your frizz and control of your natural texture. So thank you so much, guys. Really...
Thank you so much for your time today, Paz. Can you tell us who is up next on KMTV before you go?
Oh my God. So I'm so excited. So stay tuned. So you have an hour's break. So if you need to grab some lunch or grab anything or grab a cup of coffee or even go to the loo. But next is who's coming up is my brother from another mother, is Pascal. So get your scissors ready and get all your mannequins ready, or even a live client. So Pascal will be up in about an hour. You have an hour's break, guys, so stay tuned for Pascal. Thank you and stay safe. Thank you.